Why did the Roman Empire fall? It's one of history's most famous questions. The popular answer: barbarian invasions. Germanic tribes crossed the borders. Rome couldn't defend itself. The empire collapsed. Clean, simple, and mostly wrong. The real answer involves 6 different simultaneous crises, any one of which Rome might have survived on its own. But all 6 hitting at the same time? That's a different story entirely. First, understand what Rome actually was at its height. At its peak around 117 AD, the Roman Empire covered 5 million square kilometers, from Scotland to Mesopotamia, from the Sahara to the Rhine, around 70 million people under Roman governance, a network of 80,000 kilometers of roads connecting the empire, the most sophisticated administrative, legal, and military system the ancient world had seen. This was not a fragile entity. Rome had survived civil wars, plagues, economic crises, and external threats for centuries. The question isn't why it eventually fell. The better question is, why did it fall when it did? And why so completely? Crisis 1. Military overstretch. The empire was simply too large to defend efficiently with the army sizes Rome could sustain. Every mile of border needed soldiers. Every soldier needed paying. The math stopped working. Crisis 2. The currency debasement. Rome funded its armies by slowly reducing the silver content of its coins, from nearly pure silver under Augustus to just 5% silver by the 260s AD. This caused severe inflation. Prices skyrocketed. Trade became unreliable. Crisis 3. The political instability. Between 235 and 284 AD, the crisis of the 3rd century, Rome had 26 different emperors. Most were assassinated. None lasted long enough to implement stable policy. Crisis 4. The Antonine and Justinianic plagues. 2 major pandemics swept through the empire decades apart. The Antonine plague of 165 AD may have killed 5 million people, decimating the military and the agricultural workforce simultaneously. Crisis 5. Climate change. The Roman climate optimum, a warm, stable period that supported Roman agriculture, ended around 250 AD. Harvests became less reliable, food became more expensive, populations under stress. Crisis 6. The barbarian pressure. Yes, the barbarian invasions were real, but they weren't the cause. They were the final straw, pushed partly by their own climate pressures and migrations from further east, into a Roman Empire already weakened by military overstretch, inflation, political chaos, and plague. Any one of these crises, Rome had survived before, all 6 simultaneously, compounding each other across 200 years. That's the actual answer to why Rome fell. Here's something most people don't know. The Roman Empire didn't completely fall in 476 AD. Only the western half did. The Eastern Roman Empire, centered on Constantinople, survived for another 1,000 years. We call it the Byzantine Empire today, but they called themselves Romans. It only finally fell in 1453 AD when the Ottoman Empire conquered Constantinople, which means the Roman Empire lasted in some form for over 2,000 years. Not the dramatic one-night fall of a superpower, a slow, complicated 200-year unraveling of one half while the other half kept going. History is rarely as clean as we want it to be. Not just barbarians. 6 simultaneous crises, 200 years of slow decline, and half the empire survived for another 1,000 years after the famous fall date. History is always more complicated than the story we're told in school. If you want more of the complicated truth behind famous history, subscribe. Next week, why did ancient humans start wearing clothes? And the answer is stranger than you think.